Open-handed versus closed-fisted. I'm the real Jason Duncan. This is Weekly Wisdom for Business Leaders, where I pull a single nugget of wisdom out of the book of Proverbs for you as a business leader. Where I could take some of this wisdom given to us by King Solomon thousands and thousands of years ago and apply it to what we're dealing with right now in the 2020s. Today's proverb is 11:24 that says this: "One gives freely, yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give and only suffers want." Have you ever met a stingy person? It really doesn't matter how much they own or they possess. They just hold on way too tightly to their possessions. "Can I have a piece of your gum?" "No, this is my last piece." "Can you give me a ride?" "No, I'm going the opposite direction." "Can I borrow your leaf blower?" "No, I'm using it later today." Stingy people always have an excuse for why they won't help you out or lend you their possessions. I refer to this as living closed-fisted. Stingy people hold their possessions with a closed fist, unwilling to let them go. Stingy people, they're hard to like. Now, have you ever met a generous person? Just like stingy people, it doesn't matter how much they own or possess, they just seem to hold their possessions much more loosely than the stingy person. I refer to this as living open-handed, as if they're simply stewards of the things they possess and are willing to generously allow others to benefit from those possessions just as much as they do. This is open-handed living, just open-handed. Generous people are magnetic, they're likable, and people like being around generous people. Now, King Solomon noted in Proverb 11:24 that one gives freely, yet grows all the richer, while another withholds what he should give and only suffers want. You know, it's interesting to remember that Solomon wasn't just making this stuff up or trying to create laws on how people should act. Rather, he was simply relaying what he had observed and the difference between stingy and generous people. He'd observed this hundreds of times throughout his life. And here we see the truth between stingy people and generous people. One ends up in want. The other ends up with an abundance. Which is which? Well, if you're paying attention, you will notice that the stingy people are the ones who end up in need with no one to help. And why? Because they live closed-fisted. And this repels people. In their time of need, the people that they repelled with their stinginess are not as willing to help. And on the other hand, generous people, those who live open-handed, they end up with more. Now, how can this be? Well, because there's just something about the way the universe works that when you live open-handed, you become attractive. And then in your time of need, there are plenty of people to come to your aid. The difference between being a generous person and being a stingy person lies in one word: choice. We choose whether to live open-handed or closed-fisted. We choose to live as a stingy person or a generous person. As a leader, you need to make sure that you choose to live open-handed with your team, with your employees, with your colleagues, with your vendors, your friends, and your family. It will make you more attractive, and you will find plenty of help in your time of need. I'm the real Jason Duncan, and I coach real entrepreneurs with real issues. I help you scale, I help you start, I help you enjoy, and I help you exit your business. If you're an entrepreneur and you would like a free hour of coaching with me, the real Jason Duncan, it's part of my mission. My mission is to coach entrepreneurs every single week, and I give away one free hour of coaching every single week. And maybe you want one of those hours. How do you apply for that? You go to therealjasonduncan.com/free coaching. You just fill in your name and a little bit of information about why you want free coaching, and one of my team members will reach out to you, ask you a few more questions, and you might end up being my free coaching client for the week. So you can go to therealjasonduncan.com/free coaching. If you haven't followed me on Instagram or LinkedIn, make sure you go over there and follow me there at @therealjasonduncan, and follow me, subscribe right here on YouTube. You can subscribe by hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified of every time I post new content out here. And if you don't mind, be generous with following me. Follow the hashtag Weekly Wisdom. I also have a video series that comes out every Friday called Friday Sales Tip. So if you want to follow that, it's hashtag Friday Sales Tip. Again, I'm the real Jason Duncan, and if you've enjoyed this, I hope to see you again next week. And until then, remember, Jesus is King.